The 2026 French Open at Roland Garros was supposed to be Alexandra Eala's breakout moment. The 21-year-old Filipina sensation had just cracked the top 40, climbed to world number 37, and was ready to prove that her historic 2025 season was no fluke. But Paris had other plans. In a heartbreaking first-round clash against her close friend and world number 17 Iva Jovic, Eala fell in straight sets, 4-6, 2-6. The loss marked her second consecutive first-round exit at Roland Garros. But what happened next, no one saw coming. As Eala sat alone in the locker room processing the defeat, a video message arrived. On the screen appeared none other than the voice of a generation, Asia's Songbird, Regine Velasquez. And what Regine said made Alex Eala break down in tears. Today on TopSpin, we take you inside that emotional moment, the friendship tested on court, the serve issue that experts keep warning about, and why this loss might be the best thing that ever happened to Alex Eala's career. Before we get to the heartbreak at Roland Garros, we need to understand who Alexandra Eala is. This is not just another tennis player. This is a trailblazer. Born in Manila but molded at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, Eala has been rewriting history books since her junior days. In 2025, she did what no Filipina had ever done before. She broke into the top 50 WTA. Then she went even further, defeating two top 10 players at the Miami Open, a performance that sent shockwaves through the tennis world. By August 2025, Eala became the first Filipina to win a Grand Slam singles main draw match at the US Open. Fast forward to May 2026, just days before the French Open, Eala received news that would make any athlete emotional. She was named to the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia 2026 list under the entertainment and sports category. Her reaction on Instagram stories was simple but powerful. Quote, "Honored to be part of Forbes 30 Under 30, still processing this one." End quote. Forbes highlighted her remarkable journey, her breakthrough into the top 50, her historic Miami Open run, and her status as the flag bearer of Philippine tennis on the global stage. At just 21 years old, Eala had become a national treasure, a symbol of hope, and an inspiration to millions across Asia. But with that rise came expectations, and at the French Open, those expectations collided with the harsh reality of elite tennis. Entering Roland Garros 2026, Eala was ranked world number 37. She had spent the clay season preparing, competing in 5 tournaments, including the Italian Open, where she reached the 3rd round. She felt ready. In a pre-tournament press conference at Roland Garros, Eala told reporters, quote, "I definitely feel more prepared than last year. I think I have improved a lot on the surface. Of course, I have such a long way to go, but I think I have improved a lot in the past year as a player, and it has really helped me manage the challenges that come with the surface." End quote. Confidence was high, but the draw was brutal. In the round of 128, Eala would face not just any opponent. She would face Iva Jovic, the 18-year-old American prodigy ranked number 17 in the world, and most painfully, one of her closest friends on the WTA Tour. This was the setup for one of the most emotionally charged matches of the tournament, a match that would test not just skill, but friendship itself.
Tuesday, May 26, 2026. Court Suzanne Lenglen at Roland Garros. The Parisian clay glows orange under the afternoon sun. Alexandra Eala walks onto the court, her green and yellow Filipina pride outfit standing out against the terre battue. Across the net stands Iva Jovic, the 18-year-old Californian with a game mature beyond her years. They are friends. Just days earlier, Jovic had joined a group of young players, including Zaneb Somnes, Eva Lice, and Marta Kostuk, to surprise Eala with a cake for her 21st birthday on the Roland Garros practice courts. They laughed, they celebrated, they hugged. Now, they are opponents. And in professional tennis, friendship means nothing once the umpire calls score. The match begins. Jovic comes out firing. Her serve is dialed in, her ground strokes heavy, her movement effortless. Eala, by contrast, looks tight. She has 2 break points in the very first game against Jovic's serve, a golden opportunity to seize control early, but she cannot convert. That missed opportunity haunts her. Jovic breaks Eala in Game 4, then again in Game 6. Suddenly, the Filipino star is down 1-5. But Eala is a fighter. She breaks back twice, clawing her way to 4-5. The crowd begins to believe. But then Jovic does what great players do. She raises her level. A 3rd break of Eala's serve seals the first set, 6-4. Just like that, the opening set belongs to the American teenager. The second set begins with hope. Eala breaks Jovic immediately, taking a 1-0 lead. The Filipino fans in the stands erupt. But the lead is short-lived. Jovic breaks right back. Then she holds, then she breaks again, and again, and again. Jovic wins 4 straight games, and the match is over in just 1 hour and 40 minutes. The final score, 6-4, 6-2. Eala walks to the net, embraces her friend, and disappears off the court. The statistics tell a brutal story. Jovic fired 3 aces, maintained a 70% first-serve success rate, and converted 6 of 9 breakpoints. Eala, on the other hand, struggled to find her rhythm. Her serve, the same serve that former French Open semifinalist Andrea Petkovic had warned about months earlier, was inconsistent and attackable. In a podcast before the tournament, Petkovic had said, quote, "Against the big hitters like Sabalenka, Rybakina, and even Coco Gauff, who returns so well, it is going to be really difficult to defend your serve despite her being one of the best returners in the game." End quote. That prediction came true against Jovic. Not a big hitter, but a precision striker who punished every short ball and every second serve. After the match, Eala did not make excuses. She did not blame the friendship, the pressure, or the surface. She stood in front of the media and spoke with a maturity that belied her 21 years. Quote, "I think it was a good match, pretty good level. I think there are a lot of takeaways that I can get from this match. Good experience, and I think it sends a message to keep on working and keep on building." End quote. She was asked about facing her close friend, Iva Jovic. Her answer revealed the complexity of life on the WTA Tour. Quote, "Iva is such a good friend of mine. The difficulty comes in just kind of knowing that not both of us are going to advance. As friends, you all want to advance together, but in terms of competing against each other as competitors, I think we're very accustomed to. We're all professionals, so everything is prepared in the same way that you would any other slam. The difficulty with facing Iva comes from her being a great tennis player and a really good competitor instead of being my friend." End quote. That was the public face of Alexandra Eala, poised, professional, composed, but behind closed doors, the tears were waiting to fall.
The locker room at Roland Garros is cold. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead. The echoes of distant matches filter through the walls. Alexandra Eala sits alone on a bench, her racket still in her back, her shoes still caked with Parisian clay. She has changed out of her match clothes but is not yet showered. She is staring at her phone, scrolling through messages. Thousands of notifications pour in from fans across the Philippines, from fellow athletes, from friends and family. But one message stands out. It is a video. The sender is someone she did not expect. The thumbnail shows a woman with a warm smile and kind eyes. Regine Velasquez, the voice of the Philippines, Asia's Songbird. Regine Velasquez is not a tennis analyst. She is not a coach. She is not a former player. She is something far more powerful. She is a cultural icon. For 3 decades, Regine has been the soundtrack of Filipino life. Her songs have accompanied first loves and final goodbyes, wedding dances and funeral marches, national triumphs and personal defeats. She is more than a singer. She is a healer. And on this day, she chose to heal Alexandra Eala. Eala presses play. Regine's face fills the screen. She is not in a studio. She is not performing. She is simply speaking from her heart, in Filipino and English, directly to the young woman who had just lost on the biggest stage in tennis. Regine begins by acknowledging the loss. She does not pretend it did not happen. She does not say the score doesn't matter. She acknowledges the pain. She says, "Alex, I saw the match. I know your heart is heavy right now, and that is okay." Then she shifts. She reminds Eala of what she has already accomplished. The top 40 ranking, the Forbes list, the millions of Filipinos who stay up until 3 in the morning just to watch her play. She says, "You are already a champion, not because you win, but because you never stop fighting." Then Regine does what only she can do. She begins to sing. Not a full song, just a few lines, but the song she chooses is everything. She sings "Narito Ako," a classic Filipino anthem of resilience and perseverance. The lyrics translate to, "Here I am, ready to face the storm, ready to rise again." And that is when Alex Eala breaks down. The tears come, not the polite tears of a press conference, but the real tears, the ugly tears, the kind that only come when someone says exactly what you needed to hear at exactly the right moment. Eala holds her phone with both hands, her shoulders shaking, her face wet with emotion. She is not crying because she lost. She is crying because she feels seen. For years, she has carried the weight of a nation on her shoulders. Every match, every point, every serve carries the hopes of over 100 million Filipinos. Most of the time, she handles that pressure with grace, but sometimes the weight is too much. And in that moment, Regine Velasquez lifted some of that weight off her shoulders. Word of the video message spreads quickly. Within hours, clips of Regine's message are circulating on social media. Filipino fans flood the comments with tears of their own. They are not mourning the loss, they are celebrating the love. Because this is what makes sports transcendent. It is not about wins and losses. It is about the moments in between, the human connections, the reminders that even champions need someone to tell them they are enough. For Alexandra Eala, Regine Velasquez was that someone. The tears dry. The phone is put away. And then reality returns.
Because in professional tennis, there is no time to wallow. The tour does not stop, the French Open continues, and Alexandra Eala still has matches to play. Just one day after her singles defeat, Eala was scheduled to compete in the women's doubles event alongside her partner, world number 9, Victoria Moko of Canada. Their opponents were formidable, Canadian Leylah Fernandez and Diana Schneider of Russia. But then, another blow. Eala and Moko withdrew from the doubles match. No official reason was given, but the timing spoke volumes. Was it physical exhaustion, mental fatigue, or simply the realization that after the emotional toll of the singles loss and the Regine Velasquez video, there was nothing left in the tank? Whatever the reason, Eala's French Open campaign was over, both singles and doubles, in less than 48 hours. The early exit marks the second consecutive year that Eala has failed to make it past the first round at Roland Garros. Last year, she lost to Colombia's Emiliana Arango in 3 sets. This year, it was Jovic in straight sets. The statistics are concerning. In her last 5 matches on clay leading into the French Open, Eala had shown flashes of brilliance, but also troubling inconsistency. At the Strasbourg Open, her final tune-up event, she lost in the first round to world number 66, Alexandra Eala, in a 3-set marathon that lasted nearly 3 hours. In that match, Eala was broken 7 times and faced a staggering 23 breakpoints. The serve issue that Andrea Petkovic highlighted was not a one-time problem, it was a pattern. And at the Grand Slam level, patterns get exploited. But here is what separates champions from the rest. After the loss to Jovic, Eala did not make excuses. She did not blame the friendship, the pressure, or the surface. Instead, she spoke with a clarity and self-awareness that suggests she is already planning her comeback. Quote, "I'm top 40 now. I've done a lot of great things, and the game at this level is so much more than just technique. There are so many different factors that go into it. But, that being said, I'm super proud of how far I've come. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in how I play, even through losses like this, and I think that's very important." End quote. She acknowledged the differences between her level and the level of players like Jovic. Quote, "I see the difference between players at her level or ranking and my general level. I think I know what work needs to be done in order to make that my average." End quote. So what is next for Alexandra Eala? The grass court season. She is scheduled to compete at the Queen's Club Championships in London from June 8th to 14th, followed by the Eastbourne Open from June 20th to 27th, and then the biggest test on grass, Wimbledon, from June 29th to July 12th. Last year at Wimbledon, Eala lost in the first round to Barbora Krejcikova. This year, she will be looking to change that narrative. The lessons from Paris will travel with her. The serve will be worked on, the mental game will be strengthened, and the memory of Regine Velasquez singing Narito Ako will play on repeat in her mind. We have spent this entire video talking about a loss, a first-round exit at a Grand Slam, a match that lasted less than 2 hours. But if you think this story is about defeat, you have missed the point entirely. This story is about something much bigger than tennis. This story is about representation. Alexandra Eala is not just a tennis player, she is a symbol. She is proof that a girl from the Philippines, a country with no professional tennis infrastructure, no Grand Slam champions, no history of success on the global stage, can compete with the best in the world. She is proof that the Rafa Nadal Academy can produce champions not just from Spain, but from anywhere. She is proof that hard work, dedication, and an unbreakable spirit can overcome any obstacle. Consider what Eala has already accomplished. She is the first Filipina to crack the WTA Top 40, the first Filipina to defeat 2 top 10 players at a single tournament, the first Filipina to win a Grand Slam singles main draw match, the youngest Filipina to ever compete in the main draw of all 4 Grand Slams, and now a member of the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia 2026 class. These are not small achievements, these are historic milestones, and she is only 21 years old. In her interview with ABC-CBN News following the French Open, Eala spoke about the importance of friendship on the WTA Tour. Quote, "I think friendships are really important, especially at the age I'm at. A lot of the younger girls on tour, if we weren't professional tennis players, we'd probably be in university or other setups where it's easier to make friends because the environment is already built for you. We're under very unique circumstances, so having friends matters a lot to me personally." End quote. That is the context for her friendship with Iva Jovic. That is the context for the birthday cake on the practice courts. That is the context for the embrace at the net after the match. They are not just rivals, they are sisters in a shared struggle. And then there is Regine Velasquez, a singer sending a video message to a tennis player. At first glance, it seems random, but look deeper. Regine Velasquez represents something that transcends sports. She represents the Filipino spirit, the ability to find joy in hardship, to sing through the pain, to rise again and again no matter how many times you fall. When Regine sang Nirito Ako to Alex Eala, she was not just singing to one person. She was singing to every Filipino who has ever felt like giving up. She was singing to the overseas worker far from home, to the student struggling with exams, to the parent working multiple jobs. She was saying, "Here I am. I am still here, and I am not going anywhere." That is the legacy of Alexandra Eala. Win or lose, she has given the Philippines something it has never had before: a world-class tennis star, a role model for young girls, a reason to believe. The French Open 2026 will be remembered for many things: the champions, the upsets, the drama. But for millions of Filipinos around the world, it will be remembered for a video message in a locker room, a singer reaching out to a player, a nation wrapping its arms around its daughter and saying, "We are proud of you." Not because you won, but because you tried. Not because you were perfect, but because you are real. This has been TopSpin. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more tennis stories that go beyond the scoreline. Until next time, keep your eye on the ball and your heart in the game.